Ever notice how some people go silent when they're hurt while others explode? Some shut down completely. No words, no explanation, just cold, quiet distance. Others can't hold it in. They yell, they cry, they need you to know exactly how they feel. So what's the real difference? Is staying silent strength or avoidance? Is speaking up courage or just drama? Stay with me, because what you're about to learn might completely change how you see yourself when conflict hits. Let's start with the silent ones, the people who feel everything but say nothing. You hurt them and they don't fight back, they just withdraw. Maybe they stop texting, maybe they smile and say they're fine, but inside, they're replaying the moment over and over. Psychologists call this emotional suppression, and it usually starts early. Maybe they grew up in a home where expressing pain was ignored or punished. Maybe they learned that being emotional meant being weak, so they adapted. They turned inward. Over time, their brain built a wall, not because they don't feel deeply, but because they feel too much. And the only way to survive was to stay quiet. For them, silence isn't peace, it's protection. They're not choosing calm, they're avoiding the risk of being dismissed again. Then there's the opposite, the people who can't stay silent. When something hurts, they need to release it immediately, not because they're dramatic, but because holding it in feels unbearable. This is called emotional expressiveness, and it's not a flaw. Studies show that people who verbalize their emotions often process pain faster than those who suppress it. But here's the catch. When you're someone who speaks up, the world often labels you too sensitive, too emotional, overreacting, and that judgment. It makes you doubt yourself. You start wondering, am I too much? Should I just stay quiet like everyone else? But the truth is, your emotions aren't the problem. The problem is a world that punishes honesty and rewards silence. So you keep expressing. Not because you want attention, but because your nervous system is wired to release, not to contain. Now here's where it gets deeper. Both reactions, silence and expression, are survival responses. Neither is right or wrong. They're just different ways your brain learned to cope with pain. The silent ones, they often fear confrontation, not because they're afraid of the fight, but because past fights taught them that speaking up changes nothing. So why waste the energy? The expressive ones, they fear being misunderstood. For them, silence feels like erasure. If I don't say it, will anyone even know I'm hurt? Both are trying to protect themselves, one by retreating, one by releasing, and both are exhausted in their own way. But here's what most people miss. The real power isn't in choosing silence or expression. It's in understanding why you do what you do. Because once you know your pattern, you can start to shift it. If you're someone who goes silent, ask yourself, am I protecting myself, or am I just afraid of being vulnerable? If you're someone who speaks up, ask yourself, am I expressing to heal, or am I expressing to be validated? The goal isn't to change who you are. It's to make sure your reaction is serving you, not controlling you. Because silence can be peaceful, or it can be a prison. And expression can be healing, or it can be a cry for approval you'll never get from the wrong people. So which one are you? Do you disappear when you're hurt? Or do you make sure everyone knows? And more importantly, is that reaction helping you grow or keeping you stuck? There's no wrong answer, only awareness. And awareness is the first step to emotional freedom. The people who master their emotions aren't the ones who never feel. They're the ones who feel fully and respond wisely. They know when to speak and when to stay silent, not out of fear, but out of choice. If this hit different, subscribe. We talk about the psychology that actually makes sense of your life. And if you want deeper conversations, join our Discord. It's where we unpack the stuff most people are too afraid to say out loud. Links in the description. See you there.